Good morning, you righteous son and daughter of God, or son or daughter, whichever the case may be. This is Gary Green. Welcome back to the Morning Mindset. Yesterday, we jumped into Romans chapter 3, verse number 21, to unpack some truths that are true of us who believe in Jesus Christ. And the reason we're focusing on these truths is because these truths matter in the way we handle every day of our lives. You see, instead of resorting to how we feel about various things, we can resort to the truth. And I don't say resort in a kind of like last-ditch effort kind of a way. What I mean is, when we are asked how we're doing, when we are assessing how we are doing in any given day, our mind needs to go to what is true of us rather than how we feel. Because our feelings are fickle, they change from day to day, they're based on circumstances that are outside our control. And those are not the places we are to derive our sense of stability from. As believers in Christ, God is our source. He is our strength. In Romans chapter 3, verse 21, says to us that God has revealed His righteousness to us through faith in Jesus Christ for all who believe. And what that means is this: when we place our faith in Jesus Christ, God Himself no longer looks down on us with a condescending or angry outlook because of our sin. And those are all very legitimate ways for Him to look at us if we are sinners. Because He is holy and we are sinful, He cannot abide our sin. And yet, in His love and His compassion, in His grace, He appointed Jesus Christ to bear the penalty for our sin by dying on the cross. And at the moment we place our faith in Him, God imparts to us His righteousness, God's righteousness. I mean, think about that. That's a mind-blowing reality. And it can sound like a fairy tale because we live so much in the here and now, and we feel our own sinfulness and the impact of it day after day after day. We begin to identify ourselves and define ourselves by what we're feeling and the struggles we're having, rather than what God says is true of us because of our faith in Christ. Oh, my brothers, my sisters, if I could just impress upon you the power of this, and please understand, I still struggle to believe this stuff as well, but this is the truth of God. This is what God's telling us in His Word. The righteousness of God has been manifested. And it's a righteousness apart from the law, verse 21 says. You know what that means? That means it's not a righteousness that comes from us doing good things or doing the right things or obeying God's commands, like the 10 Commandments. God's righteousness does not come to us in that way. It comes to us through faith in Jesus Christ, when we trust in Him. So what does that have to do with today? Well, think about your day. What are the things you're facing? The conversations, the interactions that you expect you will have, the responsibilities that you will bear, and the people you will care for. You can do all of that confidently, knowing that in God's eyes, you are righteous with His righteousness. He's not looking at you crossways. He's not condemning or criticizing you today. He's saying, my righteous daughter, my righteous son, please know yourself for who I've made you to be in Christ. You are righteous. You have all the fullness of my Spirit in you to empower and enable you today to be who you need to be. That is an incredible blessing, an incredible thing for us to know and for us to live out of. We're going to look at some of the following verses in the next few days, but today, live in confidence, my brother and sister. You are righteous in God through Jesus Christ.